Chapter 3388. The Raging Thunder Male Ape attacked the Purple Thunder Snake King with all its might. It was covered in blood and its eyes were filled with madness. Its ferocious nature was unleashed. Unlike the begging of the Purple Thunder Snake King, its body seemed to be boiling as it fought with all its might. Die! Wang Xian bellowed as the dragon claw landed heavily on its body. The destructive power caused its body to tremble violently as it fell to the ground. The great grindstone of the 5 elements pressed down on its body, completely destroying it. A thunder male ape at the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm was not even a match for the Purple Thunder Snake King, let alone Wang Xian and the rest. As the nest of the thunder male ape was here, it could not escape and was easily killed. In less than 5 minutes, let's go take a look at its nest. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the corpse of the thunder male ape and kept it with a wave of his arm. Subsequently, he entered the nest of the thunder male ape. There are quite a number of treasures in its nest. There are even a few acquired cardinal treasures. Wang Xian's eyes lit up as he entered. There were some rank 8 and rank 9 venerable fruits, 3 lightning-attributed acquired cardinal treasures, and over a dozen acquired spiritual treasures. Its nest was much more than that of the Purple Thunder Snake King. Not bad, not bad. This is a great harvest. Wang Xian was satisfied. The corpse of the thunder male ape could enhance the strength of the heaven array. These divine fruits could also enhance Wang Xian significantly. Moreover, these acquired cardinal treasures could be exchanged for a lot of resources. It's been almost a year. It's time to go back. Wang Xian collected his treasures and stood at the peak of the mountain. He looked at the time and mumbled to himself with a smile. He had gained a lot over the past year. With great strength it would be easier to get some resources. Buzz buzz. At this time his universe AI vibrated. It was a message from Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi and the rest. The celebration for the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race would be held soon. This celebration was a huge event for the disciples of the Thunder Light race. All disciples had to attend the celebration for the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race unless there were special circumstances. At that time, the elders and attendants of the race would also rush over. Let's go back. Wang Xian looked at the Purple Thunder Snake King and waved his arm. This. The Serpent King let out a cry and entered the nest. Wang Xian moved and flew towards the direction of the Thunder Ray race. Speeding through the thunder clouds, Wang Xian's flight was a little unbridled. Even the Thunder Ray tribe's patriarch, Grand Elder and the others might not dare to fly so fearlessly in this place. 10 days later, Wang Xian came to the front of the Thunder Ray tribe's territory. He lowered his speed and concealed his other attributes. He regained his identity as the eldest senior brother. However, how could the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe know that their first senior brother had subdued a peak universe supremacy desolate beast and killed it during his trip out? If the Thunderlight race knew about this, the entire race would be in an uproar. Thinking of this, he smiled and continued to fly inside. When he arrived at the location of the teleportation array, he immediately teleported to the mountain peak where the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe lived. Back in the palace, Wang Xian told Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the other girls about his return. Within the lightning race, his relationship with these girls was considered to be slightly better. Of course, this was only limited to a few interactions. 3 more days. He looked at the time of the celebration banquet and laid on the bed for a rest. This time he had been away for close to a year. He hadn't rested for a day, so he slept for a while out of habit. Eldest senior brother. 10 hours later, a shout came from outside. Wang Xian opened his eyes and stretched his body. Come in. After saying that, he walked into the main hall and prepared some tea. Eldest senior brother, you are really hard-working in your cultivation. You are already so strong, but you are still in seclusion every day. Outside, 4th senior sister, Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and a few other girls walked in and spoke to Wang Xian with smiles. No, I just went to the thunderclouds for training and just came back. Take a seat. Wang Xian looked at them and smiled faintly. Eldest senior brother, your celebration banquet is about to begin. We have helped you with the arrangements. If you have any needs, we can help you. 4th senior sister said to Wang Xian. Within the Thunderlight race, the eldest senior brother of every generation would have many disciples who idolized and followed him. In addition, he had the authority to order the other disciples. Most of the basic matters would be settled by the disciples. It's all right. You guys can do as you see fit. Wang Xian replied nonchalantly. He wasn't too affected by the identity of the eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight race. Oh yes, do you need me to do anything for this celebration banquet? He asked. Under normal circumstances, Eldest senior brother would give some guidance to some disciples and impart some cultivation insights. Nothing else. Fourth senior sister answered. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly and looked at the 8 female disciples of the Thunder Light race. I was lucky this time and caught a few thundercloud vultures. I'll give one to each of you. As he spoke, he waved his arm and 8 thundercloud vultures appeared in front of him. Ha! Thundercloud vultures? Eldest senior brother. Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the other girls were stunned as they looked at the thundercloud vultures in front of them. The 8 thundercloud vultures corresponded to their current cultivation levels. There was even a thundercloud vulture with the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable. They were lying there motionlessly. Clearly they had been completely suppressed. All they needed to do was to spend some time or ask the elders to tame them. In the chaotic continent, there was no need for specialized beast tamers to tame war pets. This was because they could use their powerful bloodline and physique to suppress them. In the past, one of the main reasons why Wang Xian could tame dire beasts so easily was because of the divine dragon bloodline. A level 7 universe venerable thundercloud vulture. Eldest senior brother, you can actually suppress such a level. That's amazing. Fourth senior sister looked at the thundercloud vulture in shock and found it unbelievable. To capture a level 7 universe venerable thundercloud vulture, one would need at least the strength of a level 9 universe venerable. Yet, eldest senior brother could suppress it. His strength had gotten even stronger? Wow, this thundercloud vulture is just right for me. Eldest senior brother, you're amazing. Amazing. Lei Jingyun cheered excitedly. The thundercloud vulture was a war pet that she had been yearning for. She did not expect Wang Xian to give her one. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Lei Yunzi and the other girls also expressed their gratitude excitedly. A thundercloud vulture. Chapter 3389, Let's tame them and use them as battle pets. Wang Xian said with a smile as he looked at their excited expressions. Currently he had over 800 thundercloud condors with him. Among them, there were 12 universe venerables with level 7 combat power and above. He wasn't going to use these 12. He was going to give the rest to the Thunder Light tribe. This was also a form of repayment for the Thunder Light tribe's kindness. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother, did you encounter the nest of the thundercloud condors this time? How did you get so many thundercloud condors? You even managed to capture a level 7 universe venerable thundercloud condor. Fourth senior sister asked in astonishment. He had given each of them a thundercloud condor of a corresponding strength. This meant that the number of thundercloud condors he had captured was definitely more than this. Yeah, I was lucky to capture some. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. This isn't just luck. Eldest senior brother is also very strong. Fourth senior sister exclaimed. Wang Xian chuckled and chatted with them for a while. Soon the group of girls left. Let's go and look for the deacons to help us tame the thundercloud condors. The 8 female disciples went to look for their elders and deacons to help them tame the thundercloud condors. Wang Xian had nothing to do in the palace. He took out the universe AI and browsed through it. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. This day was a relatively grand occasion for the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe. The banquet for the new eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe would be held today. They were filled with admiration and shock towards this new eldest senior brother. This was also an unprecedented eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe. He had joined the Thunder Ray race for less than 2 years before the 20th epoch, yet he had already defeated their former eldest senior brother and become the eldest senior brother. This had truly shocked everyone. His identity as a purebred divine dragon made him even more powerful and mysterious. The huge field was set up as a banquet venue at the resting area of the Thunder Light tribe. Countless disciples had gathered here. Some deacons had also rushed over. Is eldest senior brother Wang Xian really that strong? He became the eldest senior brother not long after joining the Thunder Light tribe? Thunder Dragon? I heard that he's a disciple of the dragon ancestors' bloodline. Why did he join our Thunder Ray race? The leader of the ancestral dragon has said that the disciples of the ancestral dragon lineage won't gather unless there's a sovereign expert. Regardless of whether there's a sovereign expert in the ancestral dragon lineage or not, it'll only be beneficial for us if big senior brother Wang Xian joins us. Moreover, I heard that even the clan leader values him highly. I wonder when eldest senior brother will arrive. Countless disciples were discussing in the banquet hall. Within the Thunder Light tribe, not many had seen Wang Xian before. 90% of the disciples had never seen him before. Many disciples were curious and amazed by their new eldest senior brother. Whoosh! At the entrance of the banquet, a dozen figures flew over. The middle-aged man in the lead raised his head slightly, his face full of confidence. Senior brother, you broke through a few days ago. Are you going to challenge him now to get back at him? Behind the middle-aged man, a middle-aged man said with a burning gaze. No, if it wasn't for him this time, I wouldn't have been able to break through. Today I'll give him face. After a while I'll challenge him. The middle-aged man was Lei Yuntian, who had lost to Wuxia a year ago, the eldest senior brother of the previous generation. Compared to the last time when he was defeated, he was dispirited and unwilling to submit. Today he was in high spirits and was even more confident than before. This was because he had broken through. A year ago, the pressure from Wuxia and the guidance of the tribe leader had allowed him to break through the shackles. Now he possessed the fighting strength of a level 8 universe master. With such strength, he would be considered as one of the experts in the Thunderlight tribe. Senior brother, you are so kind to give him face. The middle-aged man smiled and said. Senior brother Lei. Senior brother? Lei Yuntian's arrival attracted the attention of the surrounding disciples. When they saw Lei Yuntian, their eyes flickered as they greeted him respectfully. No matter what, although Lei Yuntian had been defeated, he was still their second senior brother and deserved their respect. However, they were a little puzzled. Senior brother Lei Yuntian seemed to be in a good mood. Bus. Not long after Lei Yuntian's arrival, the third senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe, who used to be the second senior brother, also flew over. It's a pity that I didn't get to see the battle between senior brother and eldest senior brother. Who would have expected such a powerful figure to emerge from the Thunderlight tribe? The second senior brother came to Lei Yuntian's side and said with a smile. He's really strong. Lei Yuntian agreed and didn't discredit the second senior brother. For senior brother Lei Yuntian to say that, this new eldest senior brother must be really strong. The second senior brother raised an eyebrow. Bus. At this time, as they were chatting, figures arrived one after another. With the great elder in the lead, more than a dozen elders arrived. They hovered in the air and scanned the crowd of disciples with smiles. The great elder and the rest are here. So many elders are here. It seems like the elders are paying a lot of attention to the new eldest senior brother. I heard that after he was promoted to eldest senior brother, he can choose any treasures in our tribe's treasure vault. The crowd of disciples saw the elders appearing in front of them. They discussed softly. They're here. At this time, the group of elders who were chatting and laughing suddenly lifted their heads and looked up. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The thundercloud vulture's chirp attracted the attention of all the other disciples instantly. That's Thundercloud Vulture? Thundercloud Vulture with the combat strength of a rank 7 universe venerable? What's going on? Fourth senior sister Lei Yunzi, junior sister Lei Jingyun, and the rest have a Thundercloud Vulture each? 8 Thundercloud Vultures? So powerful. I didn't hear that fourth senior sister and the rest have Thundercloud Vultures as their war pets. Shocked voices came from the crowd of disciples as they looked over in astonishment. Thundercloud Vultures could be said to be the war pet that all the disciples and experts in the entire Thunderlight tribe coveted the most. However, Qi was scarce. Coupled with its incredible speed and alertness, the entire Thunderlight tribe only had dozens of Thundercloud Vultures as their war pets. Now that fourth senior sister and the rest had arrived on Thundercloud Vultures, all the disciples were shocked beyond words. That's the eldest senior brother. Soon, someone's gaze fell on Wuxia in the middle as he exclaimed. Most of the disciples focused their attention on Wuxia. Wuxia scanned across the crowd of disciples and revealed a smile. He landed at the spot where the elders were and cupped his fists. Elders, he called out to them. We'll just watch from here. You're the star of today's show. Say something to the disciples. The great elder looked at Wuxia with a smile and gestured. Chapter 3390, Junior Brothers, I'm Wuxia and I'll be your eldest senior brother from now on. Wuxia stood in front of the group of elders and looked ahead. Tens of millions of disciples stood there and looked at him as he introduced himself. Greetings, eldest senior brother. Tens of millions of disciples greeted him respectfully when they heard him. The status of the eldest senior brother was comparable to an elder in the Thunder Ray tribe. None of the disciples dared to act presumptuously in front of the eldest senior brother. Even the elders of some disciples were elders or even the tribe leader. In the Thunder Ray tribe, there was no such thing as young tribe leader or daughter of the tribe leader. There were only eldest senior brothers and eldest senior sisters. This title represented status and authority. If you encounter any problems in the future, feel free to look for me. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. He senior brother, if you were to challenge him today he would be disgraced. A few middle-aged men whispered to Lei Yuntian through telepathy when they saw the awe-inspiring Wang Xian on the stage. Lei Yuntian smiled faintly without saying a word. Since Wang Xian was highly regarded by the tribe leader and the rest, he wouldn't embarrass him too much. It was especially so on an occasion like today. Today is my first day as the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray tribe. I'll take out some things as a wager. Whoever can get them can take them away. At this time Wang Xian's voice continued. All the disciples revealed faint smiles and were looking forward to what would happen next. This is eldest senior brother's first day as the eldest senior brother. He should be able to take out some decent items. Some disciples thought to themselves, I have some dire beasts that I can tame as my war pets. Wang Xian stood on the stage and waved his arm. In an instant, the dire beasts that were locked up in the thunder cage landed at the side. There were about 1,500 cages, and each cage contained a dire beast. However, when Wang Xian waved his hand and the 1,500 cages appeared in front of all the disciples, they were taken aback and their eyes widened in disbelief. Boom. What's going on? Gosh, what's going on? Dire beasts? Thundercloud vultures. Why are there so many thundercloud vultures? Gosh, more than 1,000 desolate beasts. There are actually more than 1,000 desolate beasts. There should be at least 800 thundercloud vultures, right? Everyone from the Thunder Light race was stunned for a few seconds. In the next moment they erupted. When they heard what Wang Xian said they thought big senior brother would take some elixir pills. He would use some acquired spiritual treasures that his disciples could use as a wager. But now he had taken out more than 1,500 dire beasts. What shocked them the most was that there were more than 800 thundercloud vultures among them. To every disciple this was no less than an acquired treasure. All the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe knew the value of the thundercloud vulture. Gifting 800 of them to the disciples present? This, unimaginable. This, fourth senior sister Lei Jingyun, and the other girls who had already received thundercloud vultures were also stunned. Their eyes widened as they stared blankly at Wang Xian. They were not surprised that Wang Xian still had thundercloud vultures. But this number, there are 20 universe venerable level 7 thundercloud vultures. At this moment, Lei Jingyun and the current third senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe, who were at the forefront, shuddered. 20 universe venerable level 7 thundercloud vultures. These were captured by him? To them, it was already Wang Xian's luck to be able to capture a universe venerable level 7 thundercloud vulture. But now there were a total of 20. If this big senior brother could tame all 20 thundercloud vultures as his battle pets, wouldn't he be able to fight against a universe venerable level 8 expert? This was secondary. To be able to capture 20 thundercloud vultures, was his strength still at universe venerable level 7? Lei Jingyun was a little dazed at this moment as his expression kept changing. He was very discouraged after losing to Wang Xian a year ago. Not long ago he had achieved a breakthrough and regained his confidence. In fact, he did not even take Wang Xian seriously just now. Even though he possessed such strength at such a young age. But in the chaotic continent, experts were experts after all. Their strength would not change just because they were young. But now he could no longer see through Wang Xian's strength. Wang Xian, these are the dire beasts you captured? At the front, Wang Xian was smiling as he looked at the shocked disciples before him. His lips curved into a smile. But suddenly, the great elder and the rest came before Wang Xian and stared at him with widened eyes. Yeah, I was lucky to capture some dire beasts. I have no use for them, so I'm going to gift them to the disciples. Wang Xian said to him directly. Huff huff. Lucky? The great elder, second elder, and the rest exchanged looks. Was this luck? Even if he was that lucky, how could it be so easy to capture so many thundercloud vultures? Luck was only a part of it. Strength was more important. Could it be that he had obtained the Dragon Ball from the clan and had improved again? It couldn't be. If that was the case, it would be too horrifying. Gulp. The great elder swallowed a mouthful of saliva and squeezed out a smile. Cough cough. Wang Xian, are you sure you want to gift so many dire beasts to the disciples? Do you know their value? Compared to the lightning feathers that you gave me and the treasure that the clan rewarded me with, these dire beasts are nothing. I have no use for them. Just give them to the clan. Wang Xian said with a smile. It's the Thunder Light race's fortune that you have such thoughts. The great elder was taken aback when he heard Wang Xian. Subsequently, he revealed a gratified look. Ah, great. Seems like the Thunder Light race didn't make the wrong judgment. Ah. The second elder couldn't help but pat Wang Xian's shoulder and laughed heartily. It's all mutual. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. If the great elder of the Thunder Light race didn't reward him with the lightning feathers, he might just snatch them away. At that time he would become enemies with the Thunder Light race. Coupled with the Fire Spirit Ball, Wang Xian still owed the Thunder Light race a lot. Some things were mutual. Since you have treated me well, I will naturally repay you with all my might. The items you took out this time are too precious, especially with so many Thundercloud vultures. They are all treasures to the entire Thunder Light race. A long time ago, the Thunder Light race wanted to form a team of Thundercloud vultures. However, we haven't succeeded. How about this? We'll leave the distribution of the Thundercloud vultures to the race. We can reward the disciples of other wild beasts who have passed the test. The great elder swept his gaze across the group of Thundercloud vultures and spoke to Wang Xian in awe. The Thundercloud vultures were also treasures to the Thunder Light race. In particular, more than 800 Thundercloud vultures were considered strategic treasures. They wouldn't bear to give them to the disciples directly. Chapter 3391, Eldest Senior Brother, It's time for us to leave. 2 months later, the voices of Lei Yun, Lei Jingyun, and Lei Yun resounded in front of Wang Xian's palace. Wang Xian opened his eyes and looked at the time on the universe artificial intelligence before walking out with a smile. Eldest Senior Brother. The moment Wang Xian stepped out, the group of disciples at the entrance greeted him respectfully. At the entrance, there were not only a few girls, but also many disciples of the lightning race. There were more than 20,000 of them. Even Senior Brother Lei Yunhai and the others were among them. The Divine Thunder City's auction was a very lively event for the disciples. There were over 20,000 disciples attending, but that wasn't a lot. There were even some disciples who went alone or in groups. All right, let's go. Wang Xian looked at them and nodded his head. Great Senior Brother, let's go to Sky Thunder City through the teleportation formation first. Then we'll teleport from Sky Thunder City. We'll be able to reach Divine Thunder City after passing through 2 cities. Fourth Senior Sister said. All right, lead the way. Wang Xian nodded his head and followed them. Lei Yuntian looked at Wang Xian with radiance flickering in his eyes. During Senior Brother's celebration, he had arrogantly thought that Wang Xian would no longer be a match for him after his breakthrough in strength. But when he saw the large number of dire beasts, he was dumbfounded. If he could tame those wild beasts and turn them into battle pets, he would definitely be no match for him. Now, his confidence in defeating Wang Xian was starting to waver. After all, Wang Xian had hunted too many dire beasts and level 7 universe supremacies. Lei Yuntian was very suspicious. Could it be that the divine dragon was really that strong? Could it be that the disciples of the Peak clans were all so monstrous? At this moment he was convinced of Wang Xian's strength. His original intention of challenging Wang Xian in the near future was also dispelled. Buzz. Wang Xian followed beside them and transferred through the teleportation formation quickly. After passing through one city after another, it didn't take long for them to arrive at Divine Thunder City. It was different from the Sky Thunder City. The Sky Thunder City was a technological city, while the Divine Thunder City was a more fantastical city. There were many palaces in the surroundings, some of which were floating in the air. In the sky above the Divine Thunder City, there was a huge island floating. The purple island was covered in lightning and emitted a powerful aura. It was a blessed land. The elders should have arrived in advance. Let's just stroll around here. Anyone who has something to do can leave. Lei Yuntian swept his gaze across the surroundings as he spoke to the group of disciples. Yes, Senior Brother. The disciples immediately responded. Eldest Senior Brother, are you going to walk around with us or do something else? The auction will be held the day after tomorrow. If Eldest Senior Brother has any items that you want to auction, you can either wait or go to the Floating Thunder Island tomorrow. Lei Yuntian turned to Wang Xian and said. Let's walk around first. I'll deal with some things tomorrow, said Wang Xian. Since it was his first time coming to the Divine Thunder City, he could let the disciples introduce him to the city and show him around. Okay, let's walk around. A group of disciples from the Thunder Light race headed out. That's a disciple from the Thunder Ray tribe. I heard that the eldest senior brother of the Thunder race has been replaced. A disciple of the ancestral dragon bloodline has joined the Thunder race and become the eldest senior brother. Wang Xian and the group of over 10,000 people strolled around the Divine Thunder City, attracting the attention of many people. They discussed softly. The Thunder Light Race was the strongest force in the Thundercloud domain. They were also one of the top forces in the vicinity. The group of disciples naturally attracted attention. Eldest senior brother, the Divine Thunder City is huge and occupies 5 blessed grotto heavens. Every time the Divine Thunder City holds an auction, it's always very lively. One of the blessed grotto heavens is open to the public. As long as you spend divine stones, you can enter it to cultivate. Lei Yunzi introduced to Wang Xian as they walked. Do you know how many forces are participating in the auction this time? Wang Xian asked them. According to the news, all the forces in the Thundercloud domain are here. In addition, the Jui Fire Tribe, Great Lane Academy, and Sky Receiving Clan will also be here. There shouldn't be any others, Lei Yunzi answered. The strength of the Jui Fire Tribe, Great Lane Academy, and Sky Receiving Clan was about the same as the Thunder Light Race. Wang Xian shook his head slightly. If it was the 4 forces, it wouldn't be easy for him to get his hands on the innate Thunder Bell. Only the Great Lane Academy and the Thunder Light Race would fight for the Thunder Attribute Innate Spiritual Treasure. At that time it might not fetch a good price. It wouldn't be appropriate to auction it. Let's get the other acquired cardinal treasures first. I'll sell the innate spiritual treasure elsewhere after this auction. Wang Xian pondered as he strolled around with the group of disciples. It's those cowards from the Great Lane Academy. Before long, the voices of second senior brother and the rest were heard. It's those guys from the Thunder Light Race. A similar voice was heard from the front with a tinge of sarcasm and indifference. Wang Xian was taken aback as he looked over. On the right, a group of thousands of people was walking over. Wang Xian looked over. A few thousand people were dressed in purple with a bell on their chest. All of them were bald, regardless of gender. There were 9 purple light spots on their heads. They looked like humans and belonged to the human race. The disciples of the Thunder Light Race stared at them coldly. They were also staring at Wang Xian and the rest coldly. Clearly both parties had some grudges. Get out of the way. We're going over. Lei Yuntian walked to the right and the group of disciples immediately followed behind him. Big senior brother, the Thunder Light Race has a huge grudge with the Great Lane Academy. If the disciples meet in the wild, they would usually kill each other. The overall strength of the Great Lane Academy isn't any weaker than ours. Lei Yunzi introduced to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head and looked over. Get out of the way. Lei Yuntian and the rest walked to the front of the Great Lane Academy and spoke coldly. Lei Yuntian, are you trying to bully our big senior brother because he isn't around? The group of bald men and women in front of the Great Lane Academy stared at Lei Jingyun coldly. That's right. Get lost. Lei Yunqian's aura surged forward as his eyes were filled with coldness. Fine, we'll wait and see. The group of disciples from the Great Lane Academy snorted coldly and made way for them. There were more disciples from the Thunder Light Race. They didn't dare to not make way because Lei Yuntian would suppress them with his aura. As for breaking the rules of the Divine Thunder City, the Divine Thunder City wouldn't dare to do anything to the disciples from the Thunder Light Race. If they were stronger, they would do the same. Chapter 3392. Third senior brother Lei Yuntian is too arrogant. Arrogant? Wasn't his father still killed by our elders? It won't be long before it's his turn. Within the Divine Thunder City, a group of experts from the Great Lane Academy watched the group of Thunder Light Tribe disciples leave with gloomy expressions. The few bald men in front said with a sullen face. That's right. This Lei Yuntian has never been a match for our eldest senior brother. If our eldest senior brother was around, he wouldn't dare to act so presumptuously. However, I've heard that Lei Yuntian isn't the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light Tribe. Instead, he's a pure thunder dragon of the ancestral dragon bloodline. A bald man said with a sneer. That's right. However, the Lightning Race's new big senior brother is merely a level 7 universe venerable. Our big senior brother can easily crush him. The third senior brother of the Great Lane Academy said coldly. Wang Xian left with the group of disciples from the Thunder Light Race. After strolling around for a few hours and understanding the situation of the Divine Thunder City, he parted ways with them. Wang Xian, Lei Yun, Violet Cloud, and Lei Jingyun came to the same restaurant. The Great Thunder Institute should have 10 peak universe supremacies. The enmity between our Thunder Light Race and them has been going on for billions of years. Many of our experts and disciples have died at their hands. Of course, many of their experts have also died at our hands. However, the strength of both sides has always been relatively balanced, and it has never been broken, so it has always been in a deadlock. Wang Xian asked a few of the girls about the Great Thunderous Academy and they answered truthfully. Why did you come into conflict with the Great Lane Academy? Wang Xian asked curiously. Eldest senior brother, when our Thunder Ray race was first born, we were not in this form. This form was developed by us. Back then we should have been considered demonic beasts. The Great Lane Academy was established earlier than the Thunder Light tribe. They enslaved our tribesmen and forced us to become their mounts. That was how the feud was formed, and it has continued to this day. Lei Yunzi said. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. This kind of situation was very normal. The strong would enslave the weak, especially the powerful human race who would enslave demonic beasts. Of course, there were also demon beasts that devoured humans. The enmity between the Thunder Light tribe and the Great Lane Academy was a blood feud that had lasted for a long time. Subsequently, Wang Xian inquired about the situation of the surrounding forces, including the situation of the Divine Thunder City. There were 4 pinnacle universe supremacies within the Divine Thunder City. They also possessed an offensive grotto heaven, so the Thunder Light race would give them some face. As they chatted and ate, a few hours later, Wang Xian bade farewell to the girls and flew towards the floating Thunder Island. The levitating Thunder Island was a paradise, and it was also the place where the auction was held. Anyone who wanted to submit their items for auction had to go to the floating Thunder Island. Wang Xian landed on it and looked around. The surface area of the floating Thunder Island was very large. In the center of the island was a huge open-air auction house. In front of the auction house was a building covered in lightning. That was the interior of the Blessed Enclave. Wang Xian flew over and his expression began to change. Excuse me, sir, are you here to auction items? Wang Xian came to the front of the building that was covered in lightning bolts, and a lady standing in front of him asked. Yes. Wang Xian nodded his head. Please come in. The woman gestured to him. After entering, Wang Xian took out 3 acquired cardinal treasures and some acquired spiritual treasures. If he sold all of them, he would earn quite a sum of resources. Acquired cardinal treasures were considered to be relatively powerful even in a force like the Thunder Light race. The auction will begin in 18 hours. At that time, you can come and participate in the auction. We have about 20 acquired cardinal treasures for this auction, as well as a large number of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. The lady introduced enthusiastically to him and gave him an identity token. With this identity token, he could come and collect his divine stones after the auction. Wang Xian nodded his head. He did not stay any longer and headed outside. There were still 18 hours to the auction. Wang Xian strolled around the floating Thunder Island before flying towards the Divine Thunder City. He did not look for Lei Yunzi and the rest for the time being. Instead, he looked around alone. That should be a disciple of the Jui Fire race. That should be someone from the Heaven Receiving race. Wang Xian strolled around and saw disciples of the Jui Fire race and Heaven Receiving race. The Jui Fire race did not look like humans while the Heaven Receiving race was a sorcerer. The Divine Thunder City was very grand. Because of the auction there were many people. Universe supremacies could be seen everywhere. Big senior brother, where are you? We are going to the auction venue. 18 hours passed quickly and Lei Jingyun and the rest sent him a message. See you at the auction venue. Wang Xian replied before flying in the direction of the floating Thunder Island. In the surrounding air, there were also many people flying towards the floating Thunder Island. At a glance, the crowd was densely packed. Not here yet? When Wang Xian arrived at the floating Thunder Island, he did not see any disciples of the Thunder Light race. He raised his eyebrows and waited. Big senior brother, bad news? We are in conflict with the disciples of the Great Thunderclap Academy. Not long after, Lei Yunzi sent him an anxious message. Wang Xian was taken aback. He frowned slightly. Conflict with the disciples of the Great Thunderclap Academy? In the Divine Thunder City, ordinary conflicts were still manageable. However, if it was a large-scale conflict, the Thunder Light race and the Great Thunderclap Academy would have to be cautious. After all, the Divine Thunder City was not weak. Big senior brother, bad news. Senior brother Lei Yuntian was severely injured in a duel with the big senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy. Soon after, another message came. Wang Xian's dragon eyes flickered slightly when he saw this message. He looked down. When he saw a large group of people gathered, he flew over immediately. The big senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy defeated Lei Yuntian? Wang Xian murmured to himself, slightly surprised. When he held the celebration for the big senior brother, He could already tell that Lei Yuntian's cultivation had broken through and was comparable to a level 8 universe venerable. This was already very strong. However, he was defeated by the big senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy. It seemed like the other party was not weak. Lei Yuntian of the Thunder Light race was defeated so easily by Fa Du of the Great Thunderclap Academy. This is really unexpected. The big senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy is so strong. Lei Yuntian has already broken through to the level 8 universe venerable realm, but he was still defeated so easily. He's really amazing. Too strong. The big senior brother Fa Du of the Great Thunderclap Academy is simply too strong. Just as Wang Xian approached, he could hear the sounds of shocked discussions. In front of him, the disciples of the Thunder Light race and the Great Thunderclap Academy were facing off against each other. However, at this moment, the disciples of the Thunder Light race looked terrible. Chapter 3393. Huff Huff. The disciples of the Thunder Light tribe were breathing heavily. They clenched their fists tightly and stared at the group of people in front of them bitterly. In the middle, third senior brother and fourth senior sister were clutching their chests as Lei Yuntian spat out blood. They had not expected Lei Yuntian to have already broken through. They had not expected senior brother Lei Yuntian to be defeated so easily. The defeat of senior brother Lei Yuntian had embarrassed the entire Thunder Light tribe. Haha, arrogant. Continue being arrogant. I thought this generation of the Thunder Light tribe would be strong. Hee, each generation is worse than the previous. It won't be long before the Thunder Light tribe is annihilated by us. At the front, a middle-aged disciple from the Great Leiyin Academy laughed mockingly. His face was filled with disdain. Lei Yuntian, you really can't do it. If I meet you in the wild, I'll definitely kill you. As the middle-aged man finished his sentence, a great senior brother from the Great Leiyin Academy with a lightning staff in his hand said with disdain. He was holding a 3-meter-tall lightning staff and was wearing a lightning cloak. He had a handsome face and the 9 spots on his head were glowing brightly. He looked extraordinarily mighty. However, his words made Lei Yuntian tremble violently. He was unwilling to accept this outcome. Don't be too arrogant from the Great Leiyin Academy. Fourth senior sister stared at them angrily and berated them, saying this will only make the Thunder Light tribe seem incompetent. Hee, in the future if your disciples see us, Great Leiyin Academy, you'd better scram immediately. Otherwise we'll still trample on your faces. The great senior brother from the Great Leiyin Academy mocked. Damn it. Fadu is too arrogant. The Great Leiyin Academy spent a large amount of treasures to nurture him. What's there to be arrogant about? The group of Thunder Light tribe disciples bellowed in dissatisfaction. Swish. Are you all right? At this moment, Wang Xian flew over and checked on Lei Yuntian before asking. Great senior brother, I'm fine. Lei Yuntian shook his head and looked a little pale when he saw Wang Xian. Great senior brother? Great senior brother? The group of Thunder Light tribe disciples greeted Wang Xian when they saw him. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. On the opposite side, the disciples of the Great Thunderclap Academy raised their eyebrows when they saw Wang Xian's sudden appearance and heard how the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe addressed him. Their gazes landed on Wang Xian. Is that the first senior brother of the Lightning race? The eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race has appeared? I heard that their eldest senior brother is very young and is a purebred divine dragon. Rumor has it that he is from the bloodline of the ancestral dragon. I don't know if it's true. At this moment, there were tens of millions of spectators, including the disciples and experts of the 9 Karma Fire clan and the Heaven Taker clan. When they saw Wang Xian's sudden appearance, they started discussing in hushed tones. They had also heard some information about the first senior brother of the Lightning race. The big senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe is here. Is he going to compete with the big senior brother of the Great Leiyin Academy? That's highly possible. After all, the Thunder Ray race had just lost a lot of face. A spar between the eldest senior brothers of the 2 great factions will definitely be worth watching. However, I heard that the senior brother of the Thunder Light race only has the combat power of a level 7 universe venerable? Some people continued to discuss and speculate, their eyes twinkling. The big senior brother of the Great Leiyin Academy squinted his eyes and stared at Wang Xian with a smile. Both parties were enemies, and the ones who understood each other the most were usually the ones who understood each other the most. The Great Leiyin Academy had a deep understanding of the Thunder Light tribe. Fada was also very familiar with the big senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe. He clearly knew that when Lei Yuntian had competed with the big senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe, Lei Yuntian had yet to break through. At that time, the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe also had the combat power of a level 7 Universe Venerable. Now, his combat power was likely still at the level 7 Universe Venerable level, and he might not even be as strong as Lei Yuntian. As for the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe, he didn't take him seriously at all. What ancestral dragon bloodline? Purebred divine dragons? If their combat power wasn't good, they wouldn't be good. Hehe, the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe is here. Do you want to get back at him? Fadu will accompany you to the end. If you don't dare to, hurry up and scram with your tail between your legs. If you see any disciples of the Great Lane Academy in the future, be obedient, tuck your tail and don't bark. The big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy grinned as he spoke. Big senior brother, if this big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe dares to spar with you, you can crush him with just one hand. That's right. Big senior brother, you can kill such trash in a second. Several middle-aged disciples beside Fadu mocked and humiliated Wang Xian with laughter. Their voices were unusually ear-piercing, which infuriated the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe. They were extremely aggrieved at this moment. They didn't have much confidence in their big senior brother challenging Fadu. Senior brother Lei Yuntian had already broken through, but he still wasn't a match for Fadu. Although big senior brother Wang Xian had hunted many wild beasts, he had only broken through not long ago. No matter how strong he was, he would only be on the same level as senior brother Lei Yuntian. If he were to spar with Fadu, he might still lose. Upon hearing the words of the disciples of the Great Lane Academy, Wang Xian squinted his eyes, turned around and looked at them. Do you want to spar with me? The big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy saw Wang Xian looking over, lifted his head slightly and spoke with a smile. He really hoped that the other party would make a move. In that case, he could humiliate the Thunderlight tribe once again. After all, the current big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe was this young man before him. All right. Wang Xian replied calmly upon hearing his words. Big senior brother, he's very strong. Upon hearing Wang Xian's response, Lei Yuntian's expression changed slightly as he quickly reminded Wang Xian. Big senior brother, don't be rash. The disciples of the Thunderlight tribe also had a slight change in expression as they called out softly with a tinge of worry and caution. All right. In that case, let me see the strength of the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe. I wonder if he can withstand 2 moves from me. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Fadu laughed out loud. The aura around him fluctuated slightly as he cracked his mouth and revealed a cold look in his eyes. He wanted to humiliate the other party properly. The big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe is going against the big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy. This is going to be interesting. I wonder who will win this time. This is a matter of pride. The disciples and experts of the surrounding forces all had excited looks on their faces as they stared fixedly at the scene. Swish. I'm going to strike. At this moment, Wang Xian made his move. As he spoke coldly, his speed increased abruptly. At the same time, a grayish force surrounded his body as the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him. Tisk, I'll make you kneel down and beg for mercy later. Fadu snorted as he raised his lightning staff slowly. Crackle. However, at this moment, Wang Xian's figure disappeared instantly. Bam. In the next instant, his leg landed heavily on the face of the big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy. Chapter 3394. Bam. A violent collision sounded. At the moment when Wang Xian struck, only a few people could see Wang Xian's figure. Among the spectators there were only a few top-notch experts. With Wang Xian's uncanny speed and the grayish energy surrounding him, he arrived before Fadu in an instant. This time he used the power of the 5 elements. With the power of the 5 elements and the lightning attribute, even if the other 3 attributes were still suppressed, Wang Xian's strength could still instantly kill a rank 8 Universe Venerable. It was especially so in terms of speed. Fadu couldn't even react in time. Boom. Wang Xian's foot landed on Fadu's face and stomped down heavily. Below him, a thunder shield was formed and Fadu's head smashed onto the thunder shield. The immense force caused Fadu's head to deform. His face was beyond recognition as he spat out a large amount of blood. Instant kill in one move. Boom. At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded as they looked at the sudden scene in horror. In just an instant, many people couldn't see what was going on. The result was this scene. The big senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy was killed in a single move. He was trampled in the air without any resistance. This was simply horrifying and unbelievable. How is this possible? All the disciples of the Great Thunderous Academy were shocked to see this scene and were in disbelief. How could this be possible? Their great senior brother, who had the strength of a rank 8 universe venerable, was defeated in one move? What exactly was the strength of the other party? Let go of our great senior brother. Let go of our great senior brother. A female disciple of the Great Thunderclap Academy roared in shock. Hee, didn't you want me to kneel down and beg for mercy? Didn't you say you wanted to see if I could withstand 2 moves? What? The great senior brother of the Great Thunderous Academy is such trash? It seems like your force is also a piece of trash. Wang Xian stepped on Fadu's face and stomped on it forcefully. His face was filled with ridicule. Provoking him? Fadu must be tired of living. Not to mention him, even the strongest expert of the Great Thunderous Academy would dare to be presumptuous in front of Wang Xian. Once Wang Xian was angered, he could also kill him. Ark! A painful scream rang out from Fadu's mouth. Cold sweat mixed with blood, his face was filled with fear. He was actually insta-killed. He didn't have the slightest ability to resist. What exactly was the strength of this eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race? Eldest senior brother? Eldest senior brother is so strong. Behind them, all the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe trembled as they watched with wide eyes. They opened their mouths slightly and were also extremely shocked. Wang Xian's strength was too horrifying. They clearly knew that their senior brother was only a level 7 universe venerable a year ago. Now he actually had the power to instantly kill Fadu. Could it be that eldest senior brother hid his strength in the past? They thought to themselves. He's so strong. The experts and disciples of the surrounding forces gasped at the sight of this, their faces filled with shock. Just how powerful was the first senior brother of the Thunder Ray race? He was definitely above a Universe Venerable level 8. Universe Venerable level 9? He would be considered an expert even if he were to be placed in the primordial continent. Even in the Thunder Light race and the Great Lane Academy, he would be considered an elder. How could he be a disciple with such strength? Gulp. They swallowed a mouthful of saliva as they looked at Wang Xian with a tinge of respect. Let go of our eldest senior brother. Hurry up and let him go. Is the Thunder Light race trying to start a war with the Great Lane Academy? The disciples of the Great Lane Academy shouted loudly when they heard their eldest senior brother's miserable cries. Hee, don't worry. I can kill trash like him easily. Wang Xian looked at the embarrassed disciples of the Great Lane Academy and smirked in disdain. He stretched out his leg and kicked him heavily, sending him flying in front of them. Eldest senior brother. The disciples of the Great Lane Academy quickly helped Fadu up. They were extremely embarrassed. Compared to before, the disciples of the Thunder Light race were even more embarrassed. There was a tinge of fear in their eyes as they looked at Wang Xian. The auction is about to start. Let's go. Wang Xian looked around and smiled faintly as he spoke to the disciples of the Thunder Light race behind him. It's eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother, you are simply too amazing. Haha, eldest senior brother is so strong. He easily defeated a bunch of trash from the Great Lane Academy. The disciples of the Thunder Light race reacted and cheered excitedly. Exhilaration. Exhilaration. The grievances they felt previously vanished with Wang Xian's attack. Eldest senior brother versus eldest senior brother. Their eldest senior brother Wang Xian crushed the other party with ease. Who's trash? Who's trash? How dare you clamor in front of us? The disciples laughed heartily as they looked at the disciples of the Great Lane Academy with contempt. The reversal of two extremities was nothing more than this. Scram. Wang Xian and the rest flew forward and shouted at the disciples of the Great Lane Academy who were blocking their way. When the disciples of the Great Lane Academy heard this, their expressions changed drastically. They immediately opened up a path with grievances. Ah, great. This generation of disciples of the Great Lane Academy is really trash. They can't even take a blow from the disciples of the Thunder Light race. At this moment, hundreds of figures were floating in the sky above the floating Thunder Island. The second Supreme Elder and the Great Elder of the Thunder Light race were laughing heartily. They had clearly seen what had happened to the group of disciples just now. Tisk, Lei Shanqing, don't be too arrogant. That might not be a disciple of the Thunder Light race. A few bald old men and women were floating in the air with gloomy expressions as they spoke coldly. Haha, you don't have to worry about whether he's a disciple of the Thunder Light race. All you need to know is that he's on our side and he can bully you. The second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race laughed heartily. When Lei Yuntian was defeated, Their expressions were the same as those of the Great Lane Academy. Fortunately, Wang Xian had appeared in time. Although they were equally shocked by Wang Xian's strength, they didn't have the time to question him. Anyway, it felt great. It was enough that Wang Xian dared to attack and offend the Great Lane Academy. Tisk. The group of experts from the Great Lane Academy turned around and left with gloomy expressions as they flew towards the auction hall. They were filled with ice-cold murderous intent. Soon they won't be able to laugh anymore. The vice president of the Great Lane Academy, who was leading the group, transmitted his voice to them. The eyes of the group of experts from the Great Lane Academy flickered with murderous intent. Hee hee, congratulations to the Thunder Light race for recruiting such an outstanding disciple. Behind them, the group of experts from the G Fire race and some other cities congratulated the second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race and the rest. Ha, you're too kind. Everyone, let's head down. The auction is about to begin. The second Supreme Elder and the rest laughed heartily in response. They were in a great mood. Chapter 3395. Swish swish swish. Eldest senior brother, please take a seat. Wang Xian and the disciples of the Lightning race flew over before the auction on the floating Thunder Island. When they saw the second Supreme Elder of the Lightning race, they immediately sat at the back. The group of disciples made Wang Xian sit respectfully in front of them. Hee hee, Wang Xian, well done. In front, the second Supreme Elder, Big Elder, and the rest looked over and nodded at him with smiles. Wang Xian smiled and nodded back at them. The eyes of the second Supreme Elder and the rest flickered as they thought about it. They felt that they could no longer see through this disciple who had joined the Lightning race. He already possessed such terrifying strength at such a young age. His future was limitless. That's the new eldest senior brother of the Lightning race, a purebred Lei Long? He must have encountered a great opportunity to possess such terrifying strength at such a young age. He's too strong. Has his strength reached rank 9 universe supremacy? The experts and disciples of the surrounding forces also focused their attention on Wang Xian and the rest when they saw him flying over. Everyone had received news of the conflict between the Lightning race and the Great Thunderclap Academy. Many experts had witnessed this scene. They sized up Wang Xian from a close distance with eyes filled with astonishment. His strength and talent had shocked them. Tiske. The experts and disciples of the Great Thunderclap Academy cast a sinister glance at Wang Xian and snorted. Welcome to the auction in our Divine Thunder City. Thank you for your support. The auction will begin soon. Before long, the auction officially began. Wang Xian sat at the bottom and watched quietly. The auction in the Divine Thunder City was relatively grand for the various forces, and there were quite a number of treasures up for grabs. But to Wang Xian it wasn't attractive. Throughout the entire auction, there weren't any treasures that could attract him. This made him a little disappointed. The auction in the Divine Thunder City was still a little low level for experts of Wang Xian's level. The auction lasted for more than 10 hours and all the items were auctioned off. Wang Xian collected the resources he had obtained from the auctions and didn't stay in the Divine Thunder City any longer. Eldest senior brother, what are you going to do next? Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the rest asked as they followed the group of female disciples back to the Lightning race. I'm going out for a while. I'll be back in a few months, said Wang Xian to them. Where is eldest senior brother going? The female disciples asked curiously. Let's go to Nine Sun City. Wang Xian did not hide anything and answered directly. Nine Sun City? Eldest senior brother, you're going to Nine Sun City? It's very far away. Lei Yunzi and the others said in surprise. Well, there's something I need to do. Wang Xian nodded his head. All right then, we won't bother you any further, eldest senior brother. The girls nodded in agreement. All right, I'll head over now and come back as soon as possible. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved at them and left through the teleportation formation. Eldest senior brother, be careful. The group of female disciples spoke up. Where's your eldest senior brother? Not long after Wang Xian left, the great elder appeared on the peak where the disciples lived. Not sensing Wang Xian, he happened to see a group of female disciples and asked. First elder, eldest senior brother has just left for Nine Sun City. He will be back in a few months. The female disciples immediately replied. Oh, Nine Sun City? The great elder raised an eyebrow, nodded his head and left. Clan leader, supreme elder, disciple Wang Xian has just left for Nine Sun City. He will be back in a few months. The great elder came to the main hall of the Thunderlight tribe and reported to the clan leader and the few supreme elders. Oh, let's wait for him to come back then. I wonder if his strength has reached the level 9 universe venerable level. The clan leader and supreme elders had wanted to meet Wang Xian. Now that he had left, they could only wait for him to come back. In terms of combat strength, he is 100% on par with a level 9 universe venerable. It seems like the fire spirit ball has improved him significantly. The second supreme elder said. He must have hidden some secrets in the past. Otherwise he wouldn't have improved so quickly. One of the supreme elders guessed. The clan leader nodded his head in agreement. Greetings, clan leader. We discovered signs of the birth of a treasure in the eastern part of the Thundercloud domain. The energy is terrifying. It's definitely a powerful treasure. Just at this moment, a figure suddenly flew over in a panic and reported loudly. The eyes of the Thunderlight tribe leader and the rest lit up. I should be able to sell the innate spiritual treasure in the Nine Sun City. At this moment Wang Xian flew out of a city, looked at the map and flew off into the distance. The Nine Sun City was the nearest big city that Wang Xian had found in the past few days. The so-called big city that he mentioned was a city that could digest innate spiritual treasures. The Nine Sun City was a city at the border of the Divine Tiger tribe. The Divine Tiger tribe was one of the top races in the universe. Tigers were probably just a famous animal on Earth. However, in the universe the Divine Tiger tribe was indeed very powerful. There were many types of Divine Tiger tribe. Generally speaking, they could be divided into two royal tribes. One royal tribe specialized in combat while the other specialized in speed. None of the top races were weaklings. Their terror would definitely suffocate other races. The Nine Sun City was just a city at the border of the Divine Tiger tribe. It covered a huge area and one could occasionally encounter experts from the Divine Tiger tribe. Moreover, the city lord of the Nine Sun City was an expert at the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm. It was rumored that he had committed a crime and was expelled from the Divine Tiger tribe. This also meant that he had the fighting strength of a rank 3 universe lord. Because of the presence of experts, the Nine Sun City flourished quickly and formed a large trading market. Around the Nine Sun City, there were a few forces that had the fighting strength of a universe lord. As a result, innate spiritual treasures would occasionally appear in this large city. Therefore, it shouldn't be a problem to sell innate spiritual treasures. Moreover, there was another reason why Wang Xian chose the Nine Sun City. Within the Divine Tiger tribe, the royal tribe that specialized in speed had wind and lightning attributes as their main attributes. Wang Xian's innate thunder bell was extremely useful for experts with lightning attributes. He was trying to attract some experts from the Divine Tiger tribe over. If that was the case, he could sell it for a good price. As Wang Xian pondered, he flew at top speed. Now he needed to head to another city for the teleportation. Within the Heaven Creation chaotic land, the teleportation arrays were not interconnected. Chapter 3396. I should be able to reach there in 2 months. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at the route. Nine Sun City wasn't too far from the Thundercloud territory. 2 months wasn't a long time, including flying and teleportation. However, Wang Xian's round trip would take about half a year. Wang Xian flew at high speed in the sky. There was no need for him to conceal his strength outside. Moreover, he had displayed some formidable strength at the Divine Thunder City. The Thunder Light race should be guessing his exact strength now. If I can successfully sell the innate spiritual treasure this time, I will have the fighting strength of a First-Order Universe Lord. Wang Xian mumbled to himself with a smile on his face. The flying journey was a little boring. He didn't waste any time and rushed at full speed. I'm almost there. 2 months later, Wang Xian arrived at the teleportation formation of a city and stepped into it. Through the teleportation formation he would arrive at Nine Sun City. The scene in front of Wang Xian changed drastically as the scene in front of him changed drastically. In a huge stone plaza, warm sunlight shone down, making the entire space brighter than other areas. He squinted his eyes and looked into the sky. 9 scarlet suns were suspended in the air in a row, emitting a warm glow. Every scarlet sun was huge. These 9 scarlet suns each represented a grotto heaven and blessed land. The origin of Nine Sun City also came from these 9 scarlet suns. The entire Nine Sun City was slightly huge, like a city of giants. Any random building was tens of thousands of meters tall. Standing here they seemed insignificant. Wang Xian could see huge giants in front of him. The mountain giants seemed to be a rather strong race in this area. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. The mountain giants were much stronger than the Thunder Light race. His figure moved and flew forward. Soon he arrived at a trading market. The trading market was something Wang Xian had found on the Universe AI in advance. This was the only trading market in Nine Sun City. All sorts of treasures, elixir pills, war pets and other items were on sale. From the lowest level of open-air stalls to large-scale shops. Rent a stall. Stalls could be rented. There were at least a few million stalls in the entire area. There were tens of millions of people in the entire area. In this kind of stall, if one was lucky enough to encounter a treasure, then one would make a profit. Of course, the probability of this happening was very slim. To be able to cultivate to such a level, one had to have good eyesight. Wang Xian came to a room that managed the stalls and rented a stall. That's right. Wang Xian was going to set up a stall to sell them. He was not familiar with the Nine Sun City. There were two ways to sell a primordial spiritual treasure. One was to sell it himself, and the other was to bid for it in an auction house. Selling it himself was very simple. Set up a stall. However, there was usually nothing good on the stalls. In fact, Wang Xian was more inclined to auction them in the auction house. However, there were no auctions in the Nine Sun City recently. He didn't want to wait here for too long, so he set up a stall to sell them. Yes, sir. This is your booth number. The staff gave him a number plate. He looked at it and walked toward the table. He came to the stall and placed the number plate there. The stall shrouded in energy was opened. Wang Xian entered and took out the innate thunder bell. With a wave of his finger, Wang Xian wrote a few words in front of him. As long as the price was right, he would sell connate spiritual treasures. After he finished writing, he sat cross-legged and waited quietly. What the fuck? However, when Wang Xian took out the connate spiritual treasure, it immediately attracted the attention of a stall owner at the side. He widened his eyes and stared at the innate thunder bell in disbelief. What the fuck? Innate spiritual treasure. How dare he set up a stall to sell innate spiritual treasures? After confirming it, he exclaimed in a low voice with a shocked look. Wang Xian took a glance at the middle-aged man at the side and smiled faintly. He sat there and waited quietly. What a powerful force. What treasure is this? This pressure is definitely from a powerful treasure. It can't be, right? Is an expert taking out a weapon or is someone selling a powerful treasure? What a strong wave of lightning. The location of an innate spiritual treasure could change the weather and change the color of the sky. Wang Xian took out the innate thunder bell, and waves of powerful lightning energy spread to the surroundings. This aura immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding people. All of them immediately looked over, their faces filled with shock. Innate spiritual treasure. Selling it at a suitable price? Oh my, he's selling innate spiritual treasures. SSS setting up a stall to sell innate spiritual treasures. What the? Isn't this too crazy? Soon a large crowd gathered in front of Wang Xian's stall. All of them widened their eyes and were dumbfounded. Even a pinnacle universe venerable powerhouse would find it hard to own a connate spiritual treasure. Only the leader of a race or the pillar of support could own one. Such a treasure was the weapon of a universe ruler level expert. Within the Nine Sun City, such treasures would only appear in auctions. Moreover, not every auction would have innate spiritual treasures. Yet someone was setting up a stall to sell this. This was too crazy. More and more people gathered around. All sorts of discussions were getting louder. Within a few minutes, the surroundings were blocked. Moreover, more and more people rushed over and looked over in shock. Wang Xian sat there quietly without the slightest reaction. He wasn't afraid that someone would snatch this innate spiritual treasure. Within the Nine Sun City there were experts guarding it. No one would dare to rob it openly. Moreover, with Wang Xian's current strength, he wouldn't be afraid unless it was an expert with the combat strength of a universe ruler level expert. A lightning attribute innate spiritual treasure. We have many lightning attribute experts here, especially those from the Divine Tiger clan. As time passed, the news of someone setting up a stall to sell innate spiritual treasures spread across the entire Nine Sun City. Some experts rushed over upon hearing the news. Their eyes flickered as they felt the power of this innate spiritual treasure. The disciples of some forces also passed the news to the experts of their own clans. 5 days passed quickly. Within these 5 days the area around Wang Xian's stall was always crowded. However, no one came to ask about it. This was because everyone knew that an innate spiritual treasure wasn't something that an ordinary expert could purchase. Even a pinnacle supremacy expert of the universe couldn't afford an innate spiritual treasure. Roar roar. On the 6th day deep roars were heard. Ha! The experts and disciples around Wang Xian's stall were slightly shocked when they heard the roars. It's an expert from the Divine Tiger clan. Chapter 3397. An expert from the Divine Tiger Clan has attracted an expert from the Divine Tiger Clan. Says the allure of a Khanate spiritual treasure is really great. Even an expert from the Divine Tiger Clan is attracted. It's a Khanate spiritual treasure after all. It would be a treasure even in the pinnacle races. When the experts of the Divine Tiger Clan arrived, everyone in the surroundings immediately looked over. Their eyes were filled with respect. The Divine Tiger Clan was the pinnacle of existence in the universe. Wang Xian heard the voices around him and looked over. His eyes sparkled. Within his line of sight, a dozen figures in the form of divine tigers flew over. Their bodies flickered with lightning. They weren't burly but rather slender. They looked more like large cats. On their foreheads there was a Wang character. Their fur was long and they looked like cute and beautiful pets. But no one in the universe could underestimate them. A speed-type divine tiger. He was an absolute royal existence. Universe Rank 8 Supremacy Combat Power. Universe Rank 9 Supremacy Combat Power. Wang Xian thought to himself as he looked at the dozen of them. He was slightly disappointed. No experts from the Divine Tiger Clan came over. Boom. A dozen divine tigers flew over and transformed into human forms. The group of experts in front of the stall immediately made way for him. There were men and women among the dozen divine tigers, and they were all middle-aged. Even among the pinnacle races, those who could reach Universe Rank 8 or Rank 9 Supremacy Combat Power wouldn't be young. The strength and potential that Wang Xian had displayed in the Thunderbolt race would be considered the pinnacle even among the pinnacle races. It would be good for a race to have one or two of them. It's really a Khanate spiritual treasure. A dozen experts from the Divine Tiger Clan arrived. Their eyes fell on the Khanate Thunder Bell with a tinge of passion. They were also extremely envious of such a treasure. How many divine stones does this Khanate spiritual treasure cost? A middle-aged man from the Divine Tiger Clan asked. This is an offensive Khanate spiritual treasure. It's the price of an ordinary Khanate spiritual treasure. Wang Xian answered plainly when he heard them asking about the price. Wang Xian had already understood the price of Khanate spiritual treasures. He wasn't asking for a high price this time. He only wanted to sell it at the price of an ordinary Khanate spiritual treasure. This price was sufficient for him to achieve a breakthrough in his strength. Brother Ian, we can't afford it even if we pool our money together. Upon hearing Wang Xian, a middle-aged man from the Divine Tiger Clan shook his head. The middle-aged man called Brother Ian frowned slightly. Stall owner, you should be a Thunder Attribute cultivator, right? I can invite you to enter Roaring Tiger Cliff to cultivate for 10,000 years. Can you sell this Khanate numinous treasure at a low price? The middle-aged man from the Divine Tiger Clan asked. Roaring Tiger Cliff? A cultivation treasure land of the Divine Tiger Clan. This is a cultivation paradise for the members of the Divine Tiger Clan. 10,000 years of training time at the Roaring Tiger Cliff? When the surrounding experts and disciples heard the words of the middle-aged man from the Divine Tiger Clan, they were slightly shocked. No, I only want to exchange for resources. Wang Xian shook his head and released his aura slightly. Boss? Sensing the sudden burst of power from Wang Xian, the people from the Divine Tiger tribe were taken aback. Their faces were filled with astonishment. A pinnacle universe supremacy. The surrounding experts also sensed it instantly, and their hearts trembled. Universe venerable pinnacle powerhouses. With such strength, even among the high-level races of the universe, they would be the pillars of existence. No wonder he could obtain a Khanate numinous treasure. In that case, forget it. The middle-aged man from the Divine Tiger Clan shook his head in disappointment. He looked to his companions and said, I can't afford it. Let's spread the news to some elders and those with resources. Let's see if they will buy it. The experts from the Divine Tiger Clan nodded their heads. The dozen members of the Divine Tiger Clan did not stay for long. After a brief look, they left. Seeing them leaving, Wang Xian let his guard down a little. He was really afraid that the experts from the Divine Tiger Clan would force him to buy it. If that was the case, he would have to change to another place. Time passed day by day. Half a month passed in the blink of an eye. Wang Xian was not in a hurry. He sat there quietly and waited. By now, the news of him setting up a stall to sell Khanate numinous treasures had basically reached the ears of the experts from the various forces. From the conversations of the experts from the surrounding races and forces, he also knew that some experts were coming over. Swish. At this time, Wang Xian sensed a figure with a strong aura flying over. He squinted his eyes and lifted his head to look ahead. An old man with a purple body and a pair of purple antennae landed in front of him. Wang Xian could feel a heart-palpitating energy from the old man's body. Stronger than him. The old man took a look at Wang Xian before his eyes fell on the Khanate Thunder Bell. He did not hide his excitement at all. I want this Khanate numinous treasure. The old man said. I'll sell it if the price is moderate. Wang Xian said plainly. All right. The old man nodded his head. With a flick of his palm, a space ring appeared in his hand. I want this Khanate numinous treasure too. Right at this moment, a sudden voice sounded out, and it caused the old man to be slightly stunned. Some of the surrounding disciples were looking at the old man in astonishment. This sudden voice also made them extremely astonished. Ring, ring, ring. The sound of footsteps was heard along with the ringing of the bell. Wang Xian looked over and was taken aback. His eyes fell on the figure. It was a girl barefoot with a bell tied to her foot. She made a sound as she walked. There was a purple word Wang on the girl's forehead. Her purple pupils had a pair of eye-catching canine teeth. There were 3 purple stripes on her face and she looked like a character from an anime. Behind the girl, there were a dozen young and middle-aged men and 2 old men. Her? This girl is... The surrounding crowd looked at the girl with shock in their eyes and their expressions changed slightly. The word Wang on her forehead should be a disciple of the Divine Tiger clan. Wang Xian looked at the girl and his eyes fell on the bell on her ankle again. This was a Khanate numinous treasure. Although it did not release its aura, he could sense it. When the purple-skinned old man saw the girl and the group, his expression changed slightly. Miss, let's go to the highest bidder then, he said to the girl. No problem. This Khanate numinous treasure belongs to whoever offers the highest price. You can name your highest price first. I'll be higher than you anyway. The girl looked at the old man and giggled. The old man was taken aback. He pursed his lips and shook his head. He took out another 3 acquired cardinal treasures and passed the space ring to the girl. These treasures and the 3 acquired cardinal treasures in my hands. This is my highest price. If you can bid higher than me, this Khanate numinous treasure will belong to you. Chapter 3398, Hee hee. The girl checked the space ring handed over by the old man and smiled. My offer is higher than yours. As she spoke, she looked at Wang Xian. 10 first-order universe lord level fruits, 1 second-order universe lord level fruit, 5 acquired cardinal treasures, and 1 unit of warm thunder liquid. How about that? The girl took out items from her spatial ring and had them float in front of her as she spoke with a smile. Oh my god, these resources are too terrifying. Warm thunder liquid is a treasure unique to the Divine Tiger clan. That girl must have a high status in the clan. When the crowd heard what the girl said, their faces lit up. These treasures were all cardinal treasures to them. The purple-skinned old man shook his head helplessly. He waved his arm and kept his space ring. The difference was huge. Sure. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw the treasures. He agreed immediately. The girl had used such a high-level fruit to trade. He could consume it directly without wasting time. The resources she offered were definitely worth a Khanate spiritual treasure. Especially the warm thunder liquid, which was very valuable. Great. I like such Khanate spiritual treasures. The girl waved her arm and threw the treasures to Wang Xian excitedly. She walked to the Khanate thunder bell and picked it up. Wang Xian checked the treasures and kept them with satisfaction. He stood up and left. The girl looked at the Khanate thunder bell in her hand. Clearly she liked it a lot. This girl must have a high status. Wang Xian thought to himself as he looked at the experts from the Divine Tiger clan behind her. I have another treasure here. I wonder if you want it? He hesitated for a moment before asking the girl. There's another treasure? Khanate spiritual treasure? Let me see. The girl was taken aback as she lifted her head to look at Wang Xian. It's not a Khanate spiritual treasure, but it's still a Khanate spiritual treasure, Wang Xian said. He waved his arm and a purple lightning snake appeared at the side. SSSSSSSSS. Its huge body and the Khanate spiritual treasure above its head released a strong pressure. Wang Xian waved his arm to stop the pressure from spreading. A pinnacle universe supremacy war pet with an Khanate spiritual treasure above its head. Do you want it? He continued to ask. Although the purple thunder snake was strong, it would no longer be of any use to Wang Xian after this breakthrough. Now that he had met a rich woman, he naturally had to ask her. It would be best if she could sell her. If a peak-level universe venerable battle pet were to be sold, it would fetch a terrifying amount of resources. Fuck, a battle pet at the peak of the venerable realm, and it even has a Khanate numinous treasure on its head. This is too awesome. Hiss, that young man actually has so many treasures? Why haven't I heard of this person before? Peak Universe Venerable Realm War Pet. Amazing, how great would it be if I had one? Shocked voices came from all around, and all the onlookers widened their eyes. Setting up a stall to sell Xiantian treasures was already outrageous enough, but now he was even selling a pinnacle supremacy battle pet with a Xiantian treasure. Didn't this expert have too many treasures? So ugly. The girl stared at the purple lightning snake and shook her head. Upon hearing this, Wang Xian was speechless. Sir, are you selling that Khanate numinous treasure separately? The purple-skinned old man asked. Not separately. Wang Xian shook his head and looked at the girl again. It's too ugly, I don't want it. The girl shook her head. Alright then. Wang Xian had no choice but to keep the purple lightning snake with a wave of his arm. He cupped his hands and flew out. I'll go back and improve my strength before coming back again to sell the purple lightning snake. Light attribute or 5 elements attribute treasure. Wang Xian thought to himself as he flew towards the teleportation formation. He needed to upgrade the Tai Chi Dragon Plate for light attribute treasure. Currently, the Tai Chi Dragon Plate could only withstand the attacks of a level 9 Universe Venerable and could no longer keep up with his speed of improvement. In addition, the 5 elements grindstone could no longer keep up with his improvement. Wang Xian was very satisfied with this trip. With the Khanate Thunder Bell, he had enough resources to upgrade himself. I'll return to the Thunder Light race first and improve my strength before making plans for the future. With a smile on his face, he quickly teleported through the various teleportation formations. After teleporting over 100 times, Wang Xian began flying above the interior of the chaotic continent. The journey was long and this round trip would take about 5 months. Big Senior Brother, a powerful treasure appeared in the Thundercloud territory. The experts from the Thunder Light race went to fight for it. Our second Supreme Elder was ambushed by the experts from the Great Lane Academy and Divine Thunder City and died. Big Senior Brother, the Thunder Light race has declared war on the Great Lane Academy and Divine Thunder City. Big Senior Brother, we have declared war on the Great Lane Academy and Divine Thunder City to avenge our second Supreme Elder. Big Senior Brother, we have no idea why the Divine Thunder City has joined forces with the Great Lane Academy and some other cities. They want to deal with us. Just as Wang Xian was 2 days away from the Thunder Light race, his universe AI suddenly sent him urgent messages. There were dozens of messages, all from the disciples of the Thunder Light race. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback as he read the messages. His face was filled with shock. The Thunder Light race has declared war on the Great Lane Academy and Divine Thunder City. The second Supreme Elder is dead? His expression changed slightly as he frowned. The second Supreme Elder was a Pinnacle Universe Venerable expert and yet he was dead. The death of a Pinnacle Universe Venerable expert was rare even in the billions of years of war between the Thunder Light race and the Great Lane Academy. The Divine Thunder City is involved, and so are the other cities? Was it premeditated or was there another reason? Fighting for the treasure? Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he continued to fly at high speed. The war between the Thunder Light race and the Great Lane Academy would usually last for a long time. Moreover, the Thunder Light race would not be able to annihilate them based on their foundation and blessed lands. Therefore Wang Xian was not too anxious. Great Lane Academy and Divine Thunder City, you are courting death. Wang Xian's eyes flickered coldly. No matter what, Wang Xian would definitely participate in the war between the Thunder Light race and the Great Lane Academy. To him, this was a good opportunity to return the favor. In that case, I'll do my best to help the Thunder Light race. He made up his mind. From now on, there was no longer a need to conceal his strength and identity. Chapter 3399, Teleportation. After flying for 2 months, Wang Xian arrived at the teleportation formation of a city and immediately went through the teleportation. In the next moment he arrived at a city in the Thundercloud domain. Clay City was the name of this city. The city lord of Clay City was also one of the famous experts in the Thundercloud domain. With the combat strength of a Pinnacle Universe Venerable, he had a large number of subordinates. Among the dozens of cities in the Thundercloud domain, he was considered one of the top. Teleport to the Lightning race. Without any hesitation, Wang Xian flew to the other teleportation formation and spoke to the staff at the side. Ha! You want to teleport to the Lightning race? The staff member was taken aback. He took 2 steps back and asked Wang Xian with flickering eyes. Yes, time is of the essence. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and nodded his head in response. It had been a few days since the war broke out in the lightning race. Wang Xian had to rush over immediately. Were you from the lightning race? The staff member looked at Wang Xian and moved his palm. A red ball appeared as he asked Wang Xian. Is Clay City involved in this too? Wang Xian looked at the staff member and asked plainly as he swept his gaze across the surroundings. The surroundings of the teleportation formation were cold and the atmosphere was a little tense. Clearly, something special had happened. Coupled with some information he had received, he had a guess. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, several figures flew over rapidly. There were over 100 of them, led by a young man and an old man. This is... When the 100 of them flew over and saw Wang Xian, they were taken aback. The big senior brother from the lightning race? The eyes of the young man in the lead shone as he licked his lips uncontrollably. It's really him? The old man fixed his gaze on Wang Xian and revealed a smile. It's the big senior brother from the lightning race, the young city lord. He's a purebred divine dragon. A purebred divine dragon with the pinnacle bloodline of the universe. Moreover, he's a lightning dragon. Young city lord if we can? The eyes of the experts and disciples from Clay City lit up instantly. Activate the formation. The young city lord's eyes revealed a look of excitement as he growled. Buzz buzz buzz. As soon as his voice fell, an array formation enveloped the surroundings, instantly wrapping everyone within it. This formation could prevent people from escaping back to their divine kingdom in an instant. Upon seeing this, Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. Following which he smiled. Looks like your Clyde City is in cahoots with the Great Thunder Academy, said Wang Xian plainly. Ha ha ha, it is your lightning race that is courting death. Occupying such a good place, yet not knowing how to share some with us. You will have to pay the price for monopolizing it. This time your lightning race will pay an incomparably bitter price. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, the young city lord of Clyde City laughed heartily. Haha, a purebred lightning dragon. Every part of a divine dragon is a treasure trove. He continued speaking, his eyes blazing with killing intent. The entire body of a purebred divine dragon was a treasure, especially the lightning dragon. If he killed it, he would be able to obtain something that could greatly improve his strength. With just you? You still want to kill me? Wang Xian swept his gaze across the few hundred of them with a cold gaze. Eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race, you are indeed very strong. However, you will die today. The old man beside the young city lord of Clyde City revealed a mocking expression. As he spoke, he slowly moved to the side to make space. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Ah! Who would have thought that the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race would come to his death uninvited just as we were about to set off? In that case, we can only accept his insignificant life. Suddenly, loud laughter reverberated as a figure gradually appeared beside the old man. The figure held onto the thunder tower and sat on a thunder throne. He was burly and mighty. A majestic aura surged from his body. The moment he appeared, a large number of figures appeared around the array formation that enveloped Wang Xian and the rest. They were in a military formation and exuded a murderous aura. The million-strong army stared coldly at them. The group of experts from Clyde City who were leading the army had mocking looks on their faces. They had not expected the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race to walk right into their trap just as they were about to set off with the city lord. Within Clyde City, many people had seen the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race and were amazed by his strength. However, they were more interested in the body of a purebred divine dragon. The corpse of an elite race was priceless. Greetings, city lord. Father. When the young city lord of Clyde City and the others saw the figure on the throne, they smiled and bowed. The city lord of Clay City chuckled. The corner of his lips curved into a smile as he looked at Wang Xian. Your potential is limitless. It's a pity that you made the mistake of joining the lightning race. He said faintly. Isn't Clyde City afraid of the lightning race's revenge in the future? When Wang Xian heard him, he smiled faintly and asked. Let's wait for the lightning race to overcome this crisis first. The city lord of Clay City said calmly as he slowly raised the thunder tower in his hand. All geniuses are weaklings before they grow up. You won't lose out if you die at my hands. Buzz. As he spoke, the lightning tower in his hand slowly rose, releasing a terrifying aura. Aha, what a pity. The eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race was killed by my lord father with a single strike. The young city lord of Clyde City watched this scene with a smile on his face. Very well, I declare the destruction of Clyde City. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with murderous intent as the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. Presumptuous. You can't even escape from my Clyde City? The city lord of Clay City said coldly. With a wave of his arm, the Thunder Tower pressed down on Wang Xian. He had seen Wang Xian in action and knew his strength. At most, he could fight a level 9 universe venerable. When such an expert was trapped, he could kill him with a single strike. Ah! When Wang Xian saw the Thunder Tower attacking him, he burst into laughter. With a wave of the 5 elements grindstone, he attacked the Thunder Tower. SSSSSSSSS. At the same time, a humongous figure gradually appeared below him. Purple Thunder Snake, his hideous body appeared in front of everyone. The inborn spiritual treasure Thunder Horn shone behind Wang Xian. Wang Xian stood on the head of the Purple Thunder Snake and smirked. Kill them all. Leave no one alive. He ordered coldly. The Purple Thunder Snake roared and charged forward without hesitation. Chapter 3400, Roar Roar Roar. The Purple Lightning Snake roared and charged towards the City Lord of Clay City and the rest at a terrifying speed. Above them, the 5 elements grind and the Thunder Tower were about to collide. At this moment, the City Lord of Clay City and the rest were a little dumbfounded. Sensing the horrifying aura of the Purple Lightning Snake, they were horrified and had a tinge of fear in their eyes. It was especially so for the young City Lord of Clay City and the rest, whose eyes were filled with terror. What's going on? What kind of battle pet is that? The young City Lord of Clay City screamed in horror. Shit. The City Lord of Clay City was also horrified. Bam. Above them, the Thunder Tower collided with the 5 elements grind. The Thunder Tower was sent flying backward. A crack appeared on the Thunder Tower. It couldn't even withstand a single blow. Shit shit shit. The City Lord of Clay City was horrified. His acquired treasure was damaged and he was also suffering from a slight backlash. How dare a puny Clay City try to kill me? Wang Xian stared coldly at the group of them. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. The complete unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him. At this moment he didn't bother to hide and attacked the City Lord of Clay City. Boom. Wang Xian arrived before the City Lord of Clay City at a terrifying speed. His arm turned into a dragon claw and clawed at him. When the City Lord of Clay City saw Wang Xian, his eyes narrowed and he was horrified. Arg! He screamed and tried to dodge to the back. Bam! However, Wang Xian had caught the City Lord by surprise and he wasn't prepared. There was no way he could dodge Wang Xian's speed. As the dragon claw clawed at him, he emitted a strong force of lightning to resist. Ka. However, the force of lightning crumbled under the dragon claw and landed on his body. Dragon Eyes Lock. The moment Wang Xian grabbed the City Lord of Clay City, the dragon eyes scanned the surroundings and the trapping formation that shrouded the area collapsed. Chains spread out in all directions, shrouding the sky above Clyde City. The millions of experts from the Clay City army were all shrouded. What's going on? At this moment, all the powerhouses of Clay City watched this scene in horror, their eyes filled with terror. City Lord, no. How could this be? How could the Lightning Race's first senior brother possess such frightening strength? This. At this moment all the disciples of Clay City were on the verge of collapsing. Their City Lord had been prepared to kill the eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe, but he had not expected the other party to unleash such terrifying power. This strength was enough to capture their City Lord in an instant. Who could believe this? You want to kill me with such strength? With the strength of your Clyde City, you still dare to attack the Lightning Race. You're really courting your own destruction. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared coldly at the City Lord of Clay City. Cough. How could this be? How could you possess such powerful strength? The City Lord of Clay City coughed out a large amount of blood. His body trembled as he stared at Wang Xian and roared in disbelief. There are many things that you can't imagine, said Wang Xian coldly. His eyes fell on the Purple Thunder Snake and he ordered, annihilate Clay City. Kill everyone. The Purple Thunder Snake growled and the Khanate spiritual treasure on its head began to emit lightning that shrouded the surroundings. Crackle. In an instant, the terrifying power of lightning struck the surroundings. Oh no. Run. The surrounding space has been sealed. We can't escape to our holy kingdom in an instant. That Purple Thunder Snake is a pinnacle universe venerable. The thunder horn on its head is a Khanate spiritual treasure. Horrified roars reverberated through the air. The millions of disciples of the Clay City army screamed in horror when they saw the purple thunder snake attacking them. Clay City wasn't weak. Other than the Pinnacle Universe Venerable City Lord, there were more than a dozen Universe Venerable Level 9 experts. Naturally, they could sense the strength of the purple thunder snake and the Khanate spiritual treasure. It was also because they could sense it that they were in despair. What made them even more desperate was that the eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe had sealed the surrounding space. What awaited them next might be death. How can an eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe possess such terrifying strength? This doesn't make sense. Upon hearing Wang Xian's orders and seeing the purple thunder snake starting its massacre, the city lord of Clay City bellowed indignantly with bloodshot eyes. The other party was just the eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe. Although the eldest senior brother had a higher status, he was still a disciple. Under normal circumstances, the strength of the eldest senior brother was no match for the elders. However, the strength displayed by the eldest senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe was even stronger than the strongest expert of the Thunderlight tribe. Was he really the eldest senior brother? Were they sure he wasn't the Laozu of the Thunderlight tribe? If they had known that the other party possessed such terrifying strength, they wouldn't have dared to attack. How is this possible? The young city lord of Clay City was also on the verge of breaking down. His face was filled with despair. It's your end? Wang Xian sneered. He exerted force with his dragon claws and a destructive force entered the body of the Clay City Lord. Ark! The sound of despair before death rang out. Wang Xian waved his dragon claws and kept the corpse before looking around. Don't kill me, don't kill me. Seeing his father dead, the young city lord of Clay City screamed in horror. Ants? Wang Xian waved his arm and a wave of energy drowned them. SSSSSSSSS. Arg. At this time, the purple thunder snake began its massacre in the surroundings. The million-strong army of Clay City was defenseless against the inborn spiritual treasure of the purple thunder snake. The million-strong army couldn't even hold out for a minute under its rampage and attacks. Since you dare to go against the Thunderlight tribe, there's no need for you to exist anymore. Wang Xian made a move and flew to the sky above. The five elements grindstone expanded rapidly and became a horrifying behemoth. Along with the deadly destructive force of the five elements, it charged downwards. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Waves of energy swept across and all the buildings collapsed rapidly. What's happening over there? Oh no, experts are invading Clay City. The city lord and the rest don't seem to be able to hold them off. Run. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Horrified voices rang out from within Clay City. When the residents saw the situation, they fled in panic. The city lord has been killed. Clay City is going to be annihilated. Some experts in the distance sensed the situation. Their bodies trembled and they fled quickly. Chapter 3401. Flee, flee, flee. The incomparably huge Clyde City quickly collapsed, and horrified screams resounded. The citizens of Clyde City still didn't understand what kind of disaster had befallen their city. Who was it that destroyed Clyde City? At this time they could only run for their lives. Wang Xian floated above the teleportation formation and looked at this scene coldly. There wasn't the slightest bit of emotion on him. If Clyde City wanted to exterminate the Thunderlight tribe, then they had to be prepared to be exterminated as well. In the face of war there was no right or wrong, no mercy. Let's go. The entire Clyde City was ravaged by the five elements grindstone and the purple thunder snakes for a mere 5 minutes. Wang Xian remarked plainly as he landed on the ground. The teleportation formation in front of him was not destroyed, so he could still teleport. With a wave of his arm, he kept the five elements grindstone and the purple thunder serpent king. After which, he placed some divine stones inside and stepped into the teleportation formation. His figure slowly disappeared, leaving behind only the ruins of Clyde City. Buzz. When Wang Xian appeared in front of the teleportation formation on the mountain peak where the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe lived, he felt a strong pressure. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly as he looked around. It's me, he immediately said. Eldest senior brother. It's eldest senior brother. In the surrounding area, some disciples shouted. There was also an elder deacon beside him. Wang Xian, come over quickly. In front, an elder waved at Wang Xian. Ever since Wang Xian killed the great senior brother of the Great Thunderclap Academy with a single strike, the group of elders from the Thunderlight tribe had already treated him as an expert of the same level. Yes, elder. What's the situation now? Wang Xian asked as he flew over and scanned the surroundings. This is a huge crisis for the Lightning Tribe. The elder's expression was slightly solemn and he looked embarrassed. Wang Xian was taken aback. Elder, how many forces are surrounding us? According to the information we've received, the Great Thunderclap Academy, Divine Thunder City, Purple City, Clyde City and Luyin City want to attack us. Currently, the main army of the Thunderlight Tribe is engaged in a small-scale battle with them. Among the 5 factions there are about 18 peak universe supremacies, more than double our number. The elder said with a sullen face. Elder, why did we start a conflict with them? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he asked curiously. There had to be a reason why the 5 great factions had suddenly besieged the lightning race. It's because of a treasure, a first-order sovereign realm god tree that can bear lightning fruits. This tree was originally ours, but Supreme Second Elder was ambushed and died. 4 peak sovereigns ambushed him, catching him off guard. Now that the first-order sovereign realm god tree has fallen into the hands of the Great Lightning Academy, they've formed an alliance to retaliate. These 5 damned fellows. They must have planned this beforehand. Otherwise, it would be impossible for them to act so quickly. The elder roared furiously. Upon hearing the elder, Wang Xian frowned slightly. A universe dominator level god tree. A treasure of this level was indeed worthy of a force like the Thunderlight race fighting for. However, the other party had long since planned this. A large race and 4 great cities had joined hands. No, it could be said that there were only 3 cities left. Even so, the Thunderlight race wasn't a match for them. With more than double the number of peak experts, it would be difficult for the Thunderlight race to resist if the other party attacked at full force. However, they had no choice but to resist. Once they gave up, they could only hole up in their blessed grotto heavens. However, doing so was their last resort. As long as they retreated into their blessed grotto heavens, the Thunderlight race would be completely surrounded. At that time, they might even be sealed by the other party's array formation. It wasn't as if such a thing had never happened before in the desolate continent. Back then, the Iron Union, the Wrapped Corpse Tribe, and the Lich Kingdom had wanted to completely seal the Dragon Palace. Therefore, as long as there was a glimmer of hope, the Thunderlight race wouldn't give up. Not good, the Great Lightning Academy and the other forces are preparing to gather. A war is about to break out. The Patriarch has ordered us to rush over immediately. At this moment, the elder beside him said anxiously. Close all the external teleportation arrays. All disciples follow me to the battlefield. He immediately ordered loudly. Yes, elder. The group of disciples responded immediately. They clenched their fists tightly and were filled with murderous intent. The closure of the teleportation arrays meant that the Thunderlight race had cut off all contact with the outside world. Wang Xian followed behind the elder and immediately flew towards the battlefield ahead. The current battlefield was also a place that the Great Lightning Academy and Divine Thunder City had forced to retreat to. This was the territory of the Thunderlight race. There was also a blessed grotto heavens of the Thunderlight race beside it. The blessed grotto heavens was called the Lightning Grotto Heavens. This blessed grotto heavens was beneficial for cultivation, but it couldn't help them fend off their opponents. The Thunderlight race could use teleportation arrays. Through the teleportation arrays, they quickly arrived at the Lightning Grotto Heavens. All disciples who have arrived, get into formation immediately and prepare for battle. Wang Xian and the rest had just arrived when they heard the command from the front. A murderous atmosphere filled the surroundings. Almost all the experts and disciples of the Thunderlight race had gathered in front. A total of 50 to 60 million disciples were arranged in a military formation, staring coldly at the front. At the front, the Thunderlight race patriarch and all the Supreme Elders had arrived. After the fall of the second Supreme Elder, the Thunderlight race only had 7 pinnacle Venerable Realm experts in the universe. All of them had arrived. Let's head over. Wang Xian, come with me. The elder beside Wang Xian said to him. Both of them immediately flew towards the central tribe patriarch. Tribe leader, Supreme Elder. Tribe leader, Supreme Elder. After Wang Xian and the rest arrived, they immediately greeted the tribe leader and the rest. We're glad that Wang Xian could come. The tribe leader of the Thunderlight race was gratified to see Wang Xian. They also knew that Wang Xian had gone out not long ago. However, he could still rush over after hearing that the war had broken out. This also meant that he had treated the Thunderlight race as one of them. Otherwise, who would be willing to take the risk to participate in a war of this level? I'm now a disciple of the Thunderlight race. Tribe leader and elders have treated me well. Naturally, I won't back down at the last minute. Wang Xian smiled at the tribe leader and said, "Ah, great." The tribe leader of the Thunder Light race laughed heartily. The 6 supreme elders beside him also nodded their heads in satisfaction. When the war breaks out, you have to protect your own life. If we lose, we still have to rely on you to turn the tables. Therefore you can't die. The leader of the Thunder Light tribe and the rest exchanged glances before their gazes landed on Wang Xian and spoke with a solemn tone. Chapter 3402. The war had already broken out. The Thunder Light tribe leader and the others were very familiar with the current situation. They had no choice but to fight this battle. However, there was only a 30% chance that they could resist this battle. If they failed, the Thunder Light race would not be exterminated, but they would have to retreat into the blessed heavenly abode. If they wanted to make a comeback, they would need the combat power of a universe ruler. If it was in the past, they might not have a backup plan, but now they had a chance. Wang Xian. In their opinion, Wang Xian's strength was equivalent to a level 9 universe supremacy. With such potential at such a young age, coupled with his identity as a purebred divine dragon, Wang Xian's strength was comparable to a level 9 universe supremacy. In the future, there was a 90% chance that he would possess the combat strength of a universe ruler. Therefore, anyone could die in this battle except for Wang Xian. Because this was their hope. Upon hearing the words of the Thunder Ray tribe leader and the rest, Wang Xian was taken aback. Subsequently, he revealed a faint smile. "Don't worry, Patriarch. We will definitely win this battle," he said with a smile. "Haha, that's for sure. Wang Xian, go to the group of disciples. Don't stay in the center. Remember, retreat immediately if you encounter any danger. Others can't retreat, but you must." The Thunder Light tribe patriarch laughed heartily as he instructed. Wang Xian smiled, nodded his head and flew to the side. Here, the Thunder Ray tribe was divided into 5 legions. In the center was the tribe leader and a group of powerhouses. There were already 3 battle legions, as well as the disciples of the Thunder Light race who had yet to join the army. According to the rules of the Lightning race, anyone below 500 epochs was a disciple of the Lightning race. After this age, they would have to join the various departments of the Lightning race. There was the army as well as some other law enforcement departments. This battle was also a battle between pinnacle experts, an army against an army, and a disciple against a disciple. This was basically a tacit agreement. At that time, the opponents of the Thunder Light tribe disciples would also be the disciples of the Great Lane Academy. Eldest senior brother, you're here." The disciples of the Thunder Light race greeted Wang Xian respectfully when they saw him. "And?" Wang Xian looked across them and revealed a faint smile. It didn't matter where he was in the upcoming battle. If he was on the side of the disciples, he would be able to catch them off guard. "Eldest senior brother, you have to be careful later. The patriarch and the elders want you to be safe." Lei Yuntian walked over and asked Wang Xian. Don't worry. Later on I will show you all my strength." As Wang Xian spoke, his lips curved into a smile. "Eldest senior brother, don't be rash." Fourth senior sister Lei Yunzi and the other girls reminded him. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Boom boom boom. At this moment, a rumbling sound came from the front. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes. In front of them, waves of vast and terrifying energy rushed over. At the front of the group were 2 gigantic thunder lions. There were over 100 kilometers of them galloping within the thunderclouds. Their might was abnormally terrifying. This was a peak universe supremacy level thunder lion. It was also the guardian divine beast of the Great Thunderclap Academy. Above the Thunder Lion stood a dozen silhouettes. These dozen silhouettes included the pinnacle experts of the Great Thunder Academy, as well as the pinnacle experts of God Thunder City, Purple City and Luyen City. A total of 15 figures looked over coldly. They roared in unison, and the armies of the 4 great forces behind them exuded an incomparably sharp killing intent. Their eyes were filled with excitement and malevolence. There were all kinds of battle pets and huge war machines. In particular, there was a gigantic bell over at the Great Thunderclap Academy. The bell was densely covered in purple thunderbolts. The explosive might was definitely that of a Khanate spiritual treasure. The entire bell spanned over 10,000 kilometers. It was extremely terrifying. Below the army of the Divine Thunder City was a flying city. The entire city was flowing with the power of thunderbolts and was connected to the experts of the Divine Thunder City. The vast might made all the experts and disciples of the Thunder Light race extremely solemn. Thunder Light race, Get out of the thunderclouds and we can spare your lives. On the Thunder Lion, a bald old man with a lightning staff in his hand suddenly spoke to the Thunder Light race coldly. He had 9 purple spots of light on his head that shot into the sky. Old bald donkeys of the Great Thunderclap Academy, don't even think about it. You don't have the capability to make us get out. The leader of the Thunder Light race bellowed coldly. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He and the 6 Supreme Elders dashed into the sky with radiance radiating from their bodies. How dare you sneak attack the 2nd Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race? I will make you pay a terrible price. Divine Thunder City, Purple City, Luyan City, just wait for the endless revenge of the Thunder Light race. The leader of the Thunder Light race bellowed with murderous intent. Ah, Thunder Light race, don't be so arrogant. Since we dared to make a move, we aren't afraid of you. Furthermore, you can talk again if you can survive this ordeal. How arrogant and ignorant. The City Lord of the Divine Thunder City said coldly. Good. All disciples of the Thunder Light race will remember this day. We will definitely annihilate them in the future. The leader of the Thunder Light race bellowed. We will definitely annihilate the enemy. We will definitely annihilate the enemy. All the experts and disciples of the Thunder Light race bellowed furiously. Attack and annihilate the Thunder Light race. The Dean of the Great Thunderclap Academy raised his lightning staff. He lifted it up directly. Thunder rumbled in the sky as the bugle call signaled the start of a battle. While the Thunder Light race and the Great Thunderclap Academy were fighting, the Thundercloud domain and the surrounding forces were also paying attention to the situation. It was especially so for the other dozen cities in the Thundercloud domain. The sudden outbreak of war and the alliance of the Great Thunderclap Academy had shocked the other cities. Their attention was focused on the battle and they were waiting for the outcome. As for the annihilation of Clyde City, the time was too short and most of the forces had yet to receive the news. Only the Great Thunderclap Academy and the Divine Thunder City knew about the situation in Clyde City. However, they didn't take it to heart. The absence of Clyde City didn't matter. Go. Following the order of the Dean of the Great Thunderclap Academy, the army disciples of the 4 major forces roared. The 2 Thunder Lions leaped into the air and locked their gazes on the leader of the Thunder Light race and the rest. The Dean of the Great Thunderclap Academy and the rest smiled eerily as they followed in the sky. 17 against 7. With a difference of more than 2 times, they were 100% confident. Fight. Kill the enemy. The Thunder Light Tribe Patriarch gritted his teeth and a thunder axe appeared in front of him. The axe contained a powerful aura. He gripped it tightly and roared out through gritted teeth. Kill the enemy. At this moment, all the experts and disciples of the Thunder Light race stared at the invading enemies and roared. Wuxia narrowed his eyes as he stared in front of him and slowly stretched his body. He laughed wantonly. Chapter 3403, Kill all the disciples of the Thunder Light Tribe. Kill them. As the disciples of the Thunder Light Tribe bellowed, the experts, disciples, and troops from the Great Lane Academy and the 3 major cities bellowed ferociously. They were brimming with murderous intent and confidence. They were 100% confident in this battle. In terms of experts, disciples, and troops, they had the upper hand. Follow me to kill the disciples of the Thunder Light Tribe. Eldest senior brother Fadu, who was standing in front of the disciples of the Great Lane Academy, stared ahead. Generals against generals, kings against kings, and disciples against disciples. Brother Fadu, the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light Tribe, is very strong. I'll get my war pet to help you hold them back. Ah. The current young city lord of the Divine Thunder City laughed heartily and said, All right. Eldest senior brother Fadu's expression changed slightly when he heard this name. He nodded heavily. It was a great humiliation for him to be killed by Wang Xian in an instant previously. However, Wang Xian's strength wasn't something he could handle. You'd better help me kill him. I'll go and kill the other disciples of the Thunder Light Tribe. Eldest senior brother Fadu bellowed at the young city lord with a bloodthirsty look in his eyes. It might be a little difficult to kill him, but I'm 80% confident. The young city lord of the Divine Thunder City smirked. The young city lord of the Divine Thunder City wasn't young anymore. He was the most outstanding and valued son of the city lord of the Divine Thunder City. Currently, he had the strength of a rank 9 Universe Venerable and his war pet had the combat strength of a rank 9 Universe Venerable. He was fully confident that he could defeat the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light Tribe. In fact, if he used his trump card, he might even be able to kill him. Aha, alright. Kill. Rumble. The eldest senior brother of the Great Lane Academy bellowed as he flew forward. He raised his thunderstaff and struck forward bolts of lightning. The disciples of the Thunder Light tribe were right in front of him. The two parties were approaching each other and the battle had already begun. Kill them. Lei Yuntian stared ahead with bloodthirsty eyes as he roared at the disciples. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him. Violent aura gushed out from his body. Haha, let me challenge the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray tribe and avenge brother Fadu. The young city lord of Divine Thunder City stared at Wang Xian and burst into laughter. He was riding a single-horned thunder beast. The thunder beast was tens of thousands of meters long, and its body was covered with thick dragon scales. He locked his eyes on Wang Xian and laughed maniacally. Brother, be careful. That's the young master of the Thunder City. He's at the 9th rank of the Venerable Realm and has a 9th rank battle pet. The group of disciples behind immediately reminded Wang Xian. I'll go kill him first, said Wang Xian with a faint smile. Crackle. Boom. As Wang Xian finished his sentence, he flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and disappeared instantly. At this moment, both sides were about 1 billion kilometers apart. This distance was already within the range of attack from both sides. Similarly, Wang Xian only needed a split second to cover this distance. When his figure disappeared, the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe behind him were slightly shocked. In front of him, the young city lord of Divine Thunder City, who had his eyes locked onto Wang Xian, also narrowed his eyes as he scanned the surroundings in shock. Challenge me? You don't have the qualifications. Die. In the next moment, Wang Xian had already appeared in front of the young city lord of Divine Thunder City and was standing on the single-horned thunder beast. He looked at the young city lord of Divine Thunder City with a smile. His arm turned into a dragon claw and reached out. Boom. No. At this moment, the young city lord of Divine Thunder City was completely dumbfounded. He stared at Wang Xian in disbelief and horror, and his body was trembling violently. How did the big senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe appear in front of him in an instant? How could he exude such terrifying strength? The strength? Peak Universe Venerable Realm? How could this be possible? However, after he let out a fearful roar, Wang Xian's dragon claw had already gripped his body. Bam! As Wang Xian stepped on the single-horned thunder beast with his right foot, a terrifying destructive force wreaked havoc in its body. With a claw and a kick, the young city lord of Divine Thunder City and his battle pet died instantly. Swish! In the next moment, he appeared in front of the big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy. A terrifying aura locked him in the void, rendering him immobile. 4 pairs of eyes met. The big senior brother of the Great Lane Academy, Fadu, was dumbfounded. His expression changed instantly and his eyes widened. You? He opened his mouth and was dumbfounded. At this moment, Wang Xian stood in front of all the disciples of the Great Lane Academy, Divine Thunder City, Purple City, and Luyan City. It was as though one man could hold the pass against 10,000 enemies. All of you can go to hell now. Wang Xian stood there and spoke with a beaming face. Roar! In the next moment, divine dragons flew out from his body one after another. There was a total of 9 divine dragon shadows. The aura of the 9 divine dragons shrouded all the disciples of the Great Lane Academy in front of them. The demonic might of the divine dragon surged forward and crushed everything in front of him. No, no, no. How can this be? The aura of a Peak Universe Venerable Realm expert. He's a Peak Universe Venerable Realm expert. No, Dean Laozu, save us. City Lord, save us. When the 9 divine dragons charged towards them, all the disciples of the Great Lane Academy screamed in despair. They were just a group of disciples and were not as strong as the army of their respective forces. But now they were facing the attack of a Peak Universe expert. How could they resist? What made them even more terrified was that the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race was so terrifying. Damn it! You Thunder Light race deserve to die. How dare you hide a Peak Universe expert? I'll make you pay 100 times the price. In the middle of the battlefield where the Peak Universe experts were, the battle had already erupted. The Thunder Light race was instantly suppressed. The city lord of the Divine Thunder City sensed the situation and roared ferociously when he realized that his son's aura had completely vanished. The Thunder Light race actually had a Peak Universe Venerable Realm expert hidden. Moreover, it was the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race. This had completely caught them off guard. How can this be? The dean of the Great Lane Academy and the other Peak Universe Venerables were shocked. When the battle erupted, they had already used powerful treasures to investigate. This was to prevent the Thunder Light race from hiding their strength and launching a sneak attack. They could guarantee that their detection methods would be flawless and all the experts would be able to detect them. But they did not expect a peak universe Venerable Realm expert to appear. And it was the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.